Let's see if this works. Is this thing on? Are we actually live and on the air today? How you doing? It's Uncle Bruce. Believe it or not, it's Uncle Bruce for Wednesday, December the 24th, 2025. Merry Xmas to all Xmas celebrators. It's Christmas Eve. How you doing out there, kids? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're getting richer being option writers. And thank you again for just, being a follower of this old man on this channel. Love the fact that there's a following here. Why am I live today? I wanted to say hi to everybody, let everyone know how much I appreciate you for all the years you've let me into your homes. Hopefully, I've been able to help you make a difference in your returns from the markets. Many of you have reached out to me to let me know that in no uncertain terms. I thank you. And also, it is a reminder for any of you out there, last minuters, this is the last few days of the Black Friday thing. If you want to grab a lesson or two or 19, they're on sale for 25% off. They're $150 each instead of $200. There you go. And thanks to those of you who have picked up the lessons for a while now, and now in just the last few weeks. Thank you. The markets. What's happening with the markets? Where are we going to go? Where have we been? What's going to happen? I wanted to mention today Sofi specifically. I definitely want to talk about Sofi today. Still watching, of course, GameStop. I am still in possession of having written cash secured puts on GameStop. Jen and I are sitting on January expiry 2025s, and we know they're in the money, but we wait it out. I believe that GameStop is having a phenomenal Christmas. And I think that the results will speak for themselves. However, would love to see the shares pop a little bit in the meantime, but can't have everything. Sofi, I think the shares are going to pop. We are now obviously only a week away from the end of the year, which means the end of the fourth quarter for Sofi. And that means in about 4 weeks after that, 5 weeks from now, Sofi will release their financial results for the fourth quarter and the year as a whole, all of 2024. And guess what they're going to do? I think they're going to reinstate and re-guesstimate how their numbers look for 2026. In other words, they're going to up their estimates. This has been the pattern for 3 years now, every quarter, and I don't see any difference. I think the shares will hit new highs between now and February. I think that the 3273 number will be breached. It will go higher only because financially and on a PE multiple basis and on a growth basis, the shares will trade at a higher level because they're worth more. We don't need a short squeeze. We don't need anything from left field to come in. We don't need a surprise revelation that a hedge fund is buying into Sofi. We don't need anything of that whatsoever. Sofi will release financial results that are so above what the street has expected and so above what they have told us they're expecting to do, that analysts are going to fall over themselves over the next few months to up their numbers into the 30s and higher. That's my personal opinion. Now, will Sofi be added to the S&P 500? I can't guarantee that. I think they should be added to the S&P 500. I think they qualify for the S&P 500. But that's up to the S&P committee. When they feel it's time, it'll be time. I think for all of us out here on the outside, it's going to be announced one day, and we're all going to go, oh, well, see, we didn't see that happening this soon, or it's about time, or isn't that great? But I don't think any of us will have an inside track as to to be able to say, oh, it'll definitely happen, at this point in time. But I do believe that we are not too far away from the company being included into the S&P 500 index, which, as I have said before, and I will say again, will have an impact on the value of the stock over the first month or two, very, very dramatic, and the shares will go substantially higher with that revelation. Okay, all right. What should you do if you're thinking of writing options on Sofi? What should you do right now? I have some thoughts. Let me just grab my handy dandy marker. How about a blue one? That looks pretty good. Sofi shares. If I write about here, Sofi. If you're going to be an option writer on Sofi, you've got a couple of ways to go. And if you've been taking my lessons and you've been following me now since, 2021 on how to write options on stocks, and 2022 and 23. Oh, by the way, thank you for answering the poll question and giving me thumbs ups. Thank you. If you've been taking my lessons, you know what kind of options you could look to write on Sofi. Here's something that I think is a wise way to go. Cash secured puts I love, as you all know. So let's go with CSPs. Okay, cash secured put. I would be looking to write a February expiry cash secured put, and I would pick a target price of 25 up to the $30 level as my target for a contract. If you're conservative, super conservative, you're going to write a $25 cash secured put on Sofi, which is an out of the money right now contract. The stock right now is $27.20 in the pre-market. Let's just put it up here. That's where it is for the moment. If you write a $25 contract, you're going to be writing $2.20 out of the money, expiring in February. The reason I say February 26th as a suggested date is because the financials will come out in the first week of February. And what I'm anticipating will happen is that once the company announces, probably, by about January 10 or so, they're going to tell us this is the day we're going to release our financials. They love to do that about a month before, 3 weeks before. So if they tell us it's February the 7th or 9th or whatever, I think there'll be a run-up on the stock leading up to the financial results coming out. And I'm thinking that if we're in this neighborhood of 27, this next week or 10 days, we could see the $32 level being easily breached. I've said this already, new highs, which puts the 25s way out of the money. They're already out of the money. This collapses these contracts. You could, however, write 26s, 27s, 28s, 29s, 30s as well. Any of those, again, depending on your level of confidence, your need for a larger return on capital right now. And so you can look all the way up to the 30s. If you go all the way to the 30s, I think you're going to bring in something like $4.25 a contract, something like that. And remember, February sound like a long time from now, being that this is December the 24th. We're talking less than 60 days of life. These die in 2 months. I'm not talking about a 2-year contract, a 1-year contract. I'm talking 2 months. So if you write 25s to 30s, anywhere in that neighborhood, my hunch is that most of these contracts, if not all of them, will be worthless, obviously, if the shares reach 30 or higher. If they hit new highs, of course they will die worthless. And or they will start to trade at levels so low between now and the second week of January, the third week of January, which is like 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, you'll likely be in a position to buy these back for a fraction of what you sold them for. And you're likely going to turn around and rewrite new cash secured puts that might expire 3 months later, which would be May, right? February, March, April, May. Yeah. Why May? Because in April or in early May, they will come out with the final results from the end of the first quarter, the end of March. So end of March, we'll get the results right around the end of April, early May. You're into May contracts, just like this strategy here. I'll let the shares appreciate into the market. Okay, so that's a cash secured put idea. Another idea is what I would refer to as a put credit spread. Excuse me, put credit spread. And the reason I'm thinking of a put credit spread, again, is because you would write a put contract behind the price of the stock, buy a put contract even further out of the money, and take the credit trade for yourself. Now, you can do a $1 spread, a $2 spread, a $3, a $4, a $5. But I would be looking, with the stock at 27.20, I would be looking at credit spreads something around, I don't know, something like, perhaps 24s and 22s, something like that. You write a 24 and buy a 22. Perhaps a 23, 20, or a 21. Like I said, you can have a $2 spread, a $3 spread, whatever, and look to cash in a credit here. Again, for February expiry, I'm talking Feb expiry. I'm looking for premium here. I'm looking for a nice, solid, fat amount of money. You're basically giving the gamblers out there who are going to buy these puts from you, you're trying to give them hope that, well, I have until the third Friday of February here to make my money. And if the shares would kindly drop in price, again, this is what the put buyer is going to be thinking. If the shares would drop in price from 27, down to 20, I'm going to score some big money. You have to believe, like I believe, that, we're not going to have a scenario here where shares are going low on Sofi. I think the scenario is, how high are they going to go? Now, if you put these credit spreads into play in the next few days, and you don't have to do it this morning, you take all the time you want, but if you put these into play, your strategy is simple. You're sitting back going, look, if the stock reaches $29, which it's done on numerous occasions, even if it runs to 30, sometime in the middle of January, it reaches 30. These puts, these 23.20s, 24.22s, they're out of the money by a country mile. The spreads on these are going to be down to pennies. You'll have scored 3/4 of your return easily on these. Well worth your while to consider. The same thing here, writing cash secured puts. You're writing $25 to $30 cash secured puts. The stock reaches 30 in the middle of January. These contracts at best are at the money and only have time value left. And remember, they die, I think it's Feb 20. So with a Feb expiry date just ahead, these premiums are going to be evaporating very, very quickly. So that makes it worth your while to consider cash secured puts or these credit spreads. Feb 20 is the expiry date. Feb 20 is official third Friday of February expiry. That's what I'm thinking about. If you've taken my classes, you've taken lessons 1 and 2 to figure out the basics of option writing. You've gone into now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've gone all the way up to there. You have got covered poor man covered call writing. You've covered yourself on cash secured put writing. You've now covered yourself on the basics of credit spread writing. You go from lesson 10 to 19. You figured out with my classes rollover strategies, psychology of the markets, stink bid, stink offers, 90-10 rules, all the other stuff you need to know, just so that you are much more knowledgeable about options than 90% of the players out there. This is where I want to get you. This is why I, the professor, am trying to get you, the students, to be just way more knowledgeable about options than everyone else that you're up against, except for the top 10 percentile of the option players. And these are writers, just like you, writers And these are hedge funds and mutual funds and pension funds and professional option writers. You'll never reach their level of sophistication. But then again, you will never have the pressure that they have to make a buck and keep their jobs. You are running your account from the comfort of your home, maybe your office, maybe wherever you are traveling to in the world. And you don't have overheads like the guys in New York or Tokyo do, or London or Paris or Frankfurt or anywhere else on the planet. You don't have those pressures and overheads and committees above you forcing you and pushing you to generate revenues. Of course, remember, there are option writers out there, the pros from Dover, that will write contracts on very sophisticated option strategies and cash in as soon as they're up 1%. Because they're into millions of dollars per position. And we could be talking about currency option writers. We could be talking about commodity option writers, mixed carry trade specialists. I mean, it goes on and on. What I'm talking to you about is how you can make a fortune for yourself compared to what you're making now by being a basic cash secured put or credit spread option writer. In these two simple examples, I haven't even talked to you about being a poor man covered call writer or being a call writer, period. Those positions, those strategies are available to you as well, covered in the lessons. And that gives you more than enough to make a killing from this market and the saps out there. Okay. Thank you for joining me. How you doing? Welcome, one and all. Couple of updates for you, which I want to get to. Things happening coming up in 26 for Jennifer and I. We're going to be starting Jen and I are going on an around the world trip together that starts New Year's Eve. And we're going to end up in Europe first. And we're going to catch a cruise ship out of Southampton. And we're going to end up sailing all the way to Singapore on this ship. And then we're going to, after a few days of Singapore, we're going to end up in Japan together. And then Jen and I will work our way back home from Japan, back to Calgary, which in effect gives us an around the world trip that will take us 2.5 to 3 months to do. I have made a commitment to my internet situation. I have gone ahead and spent 2,200 American dollars to have high-end Wi-Fi on the cruise that we're going to be on. And it's a 42-day voyage. And I will have high-speed internet. So I've made the investment so that I can be available to you with the occasional show, definite videos for both my channels. And again, I thank you all who have made donations to us and have made purchases of the classes part of your life. It just helps us fund the trip and the ability to be live to you on the internet. So again, thank you for everything. And I look forward to spending time with you the first 3 months of this year, even though I will be going in this case, heading east all the way around the planet. We're very much looking forward to this trip. So that's kind of the latest news that we've put together here. Hector, thank you for joining me today and saying hi. Same with Pappy J. And thank you, Gomez. Tom, how you doing out there? Merry Xmas to all of you. Thank you to Ramona, DC, Richard Carlin, welcome. Hi, John. Thank you for saying hi. Bobby, thanks for saying hello. As we try to catch up with everybody. What else is going on here? Good morning from Alluring. ALA is here. Listen, Travis is here. Lisa is here. Did Sofi complete the offering? I don't have anything in official anywhere that I've seen. I'm assuming they have. I'm assuming it's going to be closed. Again, I don't know how the deal is structured. Are they selling the deal to institutions and they've done a year-end closing on this thing? No one calls me on this. I'm more than available if Mr. Noto would like to get a hold of me. Or send me an email or something, or send me a message here on the show. Hey, tell me what's going on. Is anyone from SoFi watching us? If anyone from SoFi is watching us, let me know so I can let the world know. I'd be happy to pass it on. Jude, Merry Christmas, everybody. And what about this thing about the Supreme Court? Trish wants to know: is Supreme Court ruling on Trump's tariffs will have any effect on SoFi? No. No, good or bad, won't make a damn bit of difference. So it's a nothing burger for us, nothing to worry about there. Whiteboard time, Bobby. Thank you. Vilbus, hello. RB, hello. Juan, good day. Buenos dias. Vilbus writing a cash secured puts on Rocket Lab when it went down to 40 has also paid off recently. Also, ASTS has paid off recently for any of you into that stock. No kidding. Who's this? Bobby, I've been playing put spreads on SoFi 2023, 2225 ranges all month, making money. Thank you very much. Corinne is here. Good morning. 2200 provided by the cruise ship. Yeah, it's costing us a fortune to have high-speed, streamable Wi-Fi. I can get basic Wi-Fi for half the price, but in order to go live, in order to record, in order to upload, yeah, you got to pay the money. They have Starlink. Lisa, you are correct. They do have Starlink. This is why I say donations are gratefully accepted because it keeps us on the air. All right, RB, I've been trying to get people to buy your videos, but haven't managed to make people see the option line. Not a surprise. 1% of people in the market really will get into writing. 1%. For every 100 people you talk to about option writing, and you'll give up after you try to tell 10 people, you'll never get to 100. You might find one. Just so you know, it's nothing personal. Just the way it is. Good morning and very Merry Christmas from WC. Gormez, is it possible to trade in my girlfriend for secured cash puts? Normally, when these share offerings are completed, there's an announcement and we get a rise in the stock. I've noticed the stock won't go past $27.50, which is the offering price. You may have noticed that on the charts lately. You look at the charts and go, yeah, ever since they announced the deal, it won't go over $27.50. I know they're going to complete the offer. They probably already have it done. It's just a matter of the legals getting finished and filings. And then the stock is gone again. $4, $5 gain. I mean, every institutional investor that buys into the deal has a motivation to tell the world how much they love SoFi, and up goes the price. I mean, self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know how much easier it can get for us. Anyway, I'm just a guy. Morning, a bagel familia from Mojo. Thanks for going like Uncle Bruce. Best Christmas gift ever. You were welcome, everybody. I saw a streamer try to use his own Starlink and it got it confiscated. I don't know what that means. Doug, Merry Christmas, all. Alberta is very white and cold. Yes, we have heavy snowfall warnings this morning. What can I say? We will survive, and Jen and I are out of here next week. We're out of here. Jeff, morning, Uncle Bruce. Wrapping up my first full year. I'm up 65% since finding you in August of 24. Hit the six-figure mark this week for the first time. I cannot thank you and the degenerates on Discord enough. There you go. I love it. Thank you all so much for just letting us know how you're doing. It's great to hear this. Didn't make your survey list this morning. Started watching you this past August. Great example of how and why to write cash secured puts. Thank you for sharing. Right on, John. RB, has Rocket Lab run a bit ahead of itself? Apparently, it's being called higher, being called even higher. Wall Street is adopting this thing. It's amazing. Ramona, I know that you can buy calls with a European account, but can you also sell options with a European account? And that's IB Ireland. Thank you. I would go to their FAQ section, frequently asked questions section, and just ask them, or go to Chat GPT of all things. I can't believe it. Chat GPT or your Google, box. Ask them. You may find that they have the answer. It just blows my mind. Jeff, happy travels to you and Auntie Jen. Thank you, Jeff, very much. We are very much looking forward to the trip coming up. And AOD, we love you, Uncle B. Thank you, guys. We love you right back. Bama Babe, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you. Jeff Glass still missing the daily shows. I'm not. I put it to you this way. I miss the daily shows in a way, but I don't miss the amount of work I had to do every morning for the daily shows. I don't miss the stress from the night before. I don't miss the pressure. It's work, baby. If anyone has ever tried it. Lisa, Uncle Bruce, you have seen. Have you seen Tesla close in on 500 despite car sales on the decline? I can't believe it. I find it ridiculous. But hey, the market is the market. What can I say? I'm going to talk about another stock in a moment. I have a favorite that I want to talk to you about that I'm looking for 2026. A stock I think is going to do well. Ramona, all right, thanks. Thought you might know the regulations from clients of yours. I'll look into it. Rock and roll. And the man says those April 25 GameStop calls I wrote 2 weeks ago are dropping nicely. Right on. Vilba says I wrote I wrote a July 17, 2026 expiry $85 a strike covered call on Rocket Lab when it hit $70, and I got $13.15 for it. Of course, it kept running up, but I'll take $98 all day, every day, if it gets exercised. Well, yeah, I mean, if they take you out at $85 and you're getting a $13.15 cash premium, you already have it, you are selling for $98.15 on an exercise. Is this a problem? I don't think so. One of the advantages of being a writer as well. Yeah. RB, I've had a record year writing contracts. This is beautiful stuff. Okay, you want to make some money in the market this year? I got a stock for you. I think the Magnificent Seven stock of the year, in my opinion, is Google. I think this is going to be the one. It's already near its yearly high. The yearly high, 328.67. It's trading at about 317 or something like that. Pardon me as I'm trying to not burp too much. It was up a little bit this morning and was hanging right in there. I'll tell you why I like Google. I'm definitely liking everything I hear about it. First of all, but there's a number of factors here. By the way, it's right now $316.70, up $1.02. It was $315.68 last night. Google would be a great stock to do put credit spreads on. Just stay behind the market and follow it up. It would be a good stock to do a poor man cover call writing strategy on, because you'll gain on the deep in the money calls you're acquiring while you're writing against them. It could be, if you have enough capital, a wonderful stock to own and then write contracts against. There are folks out there who will have, say, they own 500 shares of Google, and then they'll buy 100 shares additionally on margin, and then they'll write 6 contracts on the position, and the premium from the 6 contracts, depending on how far forward they go, will drop the cost of the interest cost to carry the 100. In other words, it'll help pay for that extra 100 very quickly. Something to consider, or you may have a strategy where you want to grow your ownership of a stock and use covered call writing to bring capital in to acquire the stock. Okay, I don't condone maximizing your margin account as far as you can and then trying to write options and being over aggressive. Now you're going to get caught on swings. You don't want to get in that position. But if you own 500 shares of Google and then you buy 100 on margin, you're borrowing through $31,000 or so to do it. You're now looking to bring premiums in of $31,000 from 600 shares over 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. That in effect allows you to pay for the 100. And now you own outright, say 3-6 months from now, you own 600 outright. Now you could write 6 contracts and try to buy 100 shares, or you could buy 100 more on margin, write 7 contracts, and then pay off the 100 again, and just build a position out. You get to the point where you have 1,500 shares, you're going to start to buy 200 at a time on margin because you're going to now write 17 instead of 15 contracts. It's a multiplier. Poor man cover call is a great way to go with Google because you can write more contracts with less capital. If you've taken my lessons, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't taken my classes, and this is over your head, it's your fault. There are 19 lessons waiting for you to show you all the ways you can take advantage of a Magnificent 7 stock, a growth stock like Sofi, GameStop, ASTS, Rocket Lab, AI, Unity. You tell me. There's all kinds of ways to make money in this market. It's just a matter of how you want to do it. Thank you all. Let's continue on here. A couple more comments. I want to make sure we're up to date on this. Let's go. The man is saying, Uncle Bruce, how do people lose money writing options? Just seems impossible to me. It's a matter of how you write them, a matter of what your strategy is. If you are following what we're doing here, we talk about conservative stock writing strategies. We don't talk about pie in the sky. I hope it all works out. 10-to-1 odds against us. None of that nonsense. We're the opposite side. And here, Doug, hey, Bruce, I wonder how tight of a stop loss do you put on your leaps? Stop loss? There are no stop losses. You don't do stop losses. You use your leaps on a constant basis to bring in income. And as you bring in additional income, you may acquire new leaps or additional leaps, either the exact same ones you're carrying, or you're acquiring further out in time, further into the money or nicely into the money leaps, and you're slowly shifting from one group of leaps to another to keep on writing. That is the strategy here. Writing on bad stock. It can happen. You can write on bad stock, or you can write on what I call solid growth companies like Sofi growing, Rocket Lab growing, or big heavy-duty institutional stocks. You want to write on Apple, you want to write on NVIDIA, you want to write on other Magnificent Sevens, knock yourself up. David, hope you and Jen have a wonderful Christmas, Uncle Bruce. Thanks for enhancing our monetary wisdom. Well, you're welcome. Appreciate it. Lisa, I bought Google at 96. I can't see myself averaging up. Well, if it goes to 500, congratulations. If you didn't buy any more stock, congratulations. Lisa, you don't need to buy any Google. As a matter of fact, all of you out there, you don't have to own any Google to make money on Google. You can write credit spreads on Google. Go out a couple of months in time, get way behind the stock, and put credit spreads there. You can make some very nice percentage returns on very small amounts of capital. You can do $5 spreads between a put you write and a put you buy. That's a $500 cost per position. You got $5,000 lying around, which will never let you buy 100 shares of Google. But with $5,000, you can write 10 credit spreads with a $5 spread. And if you can bring in 20% return on a far out enough dated position, you're going to make $1,000 on $5,000. Hey, look, if you've got $30,000 to buy 100 shares, and you're going to make 20% return on that money, you're going to need the stock to go up 20% in price. That is $65 a share. It's going to have to go up for you to make 20% by buying 100 shares. If you are doing 10 credit spreads at $500 a spread, or doing 20 of them, or 30 of them, whatever number, you got 30 grand lying around, you can do 60 credit spreads. Now, I come back to the one key factor here. If you've taken my lessons, you know what this means. It's not how many credit spreads you write that will tell you how much money you're going to make. The reality is how much money you're going to make on a credit spread is the percentage return on the capital you're putting up. So if you have $31,500 or whatever the number is for Google, $31,637 right now to buy 100 shares of Google. You can go ahead, buy 100 shares and write one call option at a time. Knock yourself out. On the other hand, with 31,600, you could write 31 $10 spreads. You could write 62 $5 spreads. But the point of the return is this: if your gross return, the credit you receive to write a put credit spread on Google from now until, say, third Friday of February, Feb 20, just like these Sofis up here, if this brings you a percentage return of 20% on your capital, it then doesn't matter how much capital you're using. In increments of $500, you're going to pull in a 20% return. So you got 31 grand lying around, and you can pull in $6,000 in returns, 20%. Can you make 20% in the next 60 days doing something else? This is Google, well behind the market. You could probably be into, 300s and 295s, or 290, 295s, or 3 to 305s. Check it out. You can go to March. You can go another month further up and get an even larger payout. You can go a little closer to the market if you want, because of the amount of time you're giving the market. Totally up to you how you want to approach this. Like I've said, you take the lessons, you'll learn what works for you. Gomez, the 0.01%. Mark, good morning, y'all. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. 146 people are here. How you doing, everybody? Ed Hawkins, Uncle Bruce. I sold Jan 26, SMCI $40 and $43 puts. Underwater now. Should I buy back and move, strike date, or wait for more shrinkage, possibly be assigned? So I sold puts. So you did cash secured puts, 40s and 43s on SMCI. I'm trying to read this right. Where are we at right now? 30.75 is where we're at right now. These die January. Okay. So you've got a couple of choices. $35 is my break even, he says, on both puts. Okay, so in theoretically, you wake up Christmas Day, or wake up Friday, you wake up on Monday, and you're exercised because they're in the money. You're now a holder of the stock, right? The stock is 30, almost 31. You're a break even at 35. So you quote down $4 having done this position. Okay. But you're long the stock, right? In theory, you could now go, well, I could write a 2 or a 3 month call against these shares, depending how many you got. And if I can bring in $4 or $6 or $8 in cash, writing far enough out calls at, say, 35 or 36s or whatever, then one, if I do get exercised at 35, I break even on the stock, but I get to keep the premium. Now, if the premium is $6 and you get taken out at 35 on the call, then you've made a $6 profit on this whole story. You never lost anything. Okay, that's a strategy. Second strategy, you get exercised and you're long the stock. You can immediately sell the stock at 30. Let's say it's 31. You sell immediately at 31 and rewrite a new cash secured put. Now, how far out you want to go, and in the money, out of the money, how much premium, that's your call to make. But it's a return on capital A recovery of $4 a share is all you need to recover from this so-called disastrous trade, right? Not a big issue. So that's another strategy. There's always a rollover strategy. You can, as we move into January here, the first week, buy these back, and you'll probably pay book value for them. There won't be any time value on them, really. Maybe $1 a share or something like that. Turn around and now look to write February, March, April cash secured puts, 40s, write 40s and haul in the dough, or write 38s and haul in dough. So whatever you're paying to buy these back, you're looking to scoop the dough out from a new write by giving more time to the next sap out there. All right. Couple of thoughts. It would be nice if the stock went up. I hear you there. Bryson, good morning. Mr. Premium of the Option, Merry Christmas, Bagel Heads. Good morning. Larry is in the house. Merry Christmas to all of you. Larry, can you ring the bells in 16 minutes? I'll be on the air. Thank you for being here, my friend. Appreciate the thumbs ups and the shout out. Great to see you. Let's take a look at the poll question today. 30 people have answered one of them here. I started writing stock options by following Uncle Bruce in 2021, 22, 23, or since 2024. 47% of you say, I'm relatively new at this. Since 2024 to now, I've been writing options because of you. In 2023, 13%, 2022, 7%. And from 2021 until now, 33% have said, I have been writing options because I'm following your channel since 2021. Thank you for that. On the other poll, we have 66 responders. 44% in that poll are saying, I started writing options since in 2021 because of your channel. 5% say I wrote options starting in 2022. 14% are saying, I started writing options in 2023. And 38% are saying since 2024. So the majority is actually from 01 to now. Well, you got to be doing something right. Something has to be going right for my viewers who respond to this question where they're saying, Uncle Bruce, I started writing options in 2021. I'm still writing options in 2025, getting into 2026 because of your channel. It's not because they're losing money. It's not like there are people hoping to finally get a winning trade after 5 years of trying. I have a suspicion that the reason that people respond that I've been writing options since 2021 is because of the performance. Because of the performance that I've been getting, the results I've been having since that time. I love it. Thank you all so much for responding to these poll questions. Also, thank you for the thumbs ups, everybody. If you're able to hit the thumbs ups for us, much appreciated. They are trickling in on both of the telecasts, one of which is in the horizontal format, one of which is in the vertical. Thank you, whether you're watching me on the phone or you're watching me on your computer or laptop or your giant 65-inch television, whatever you're up to. Thank you all very much for your support of this YouTuber. I love the fact that you're here. It's absolutely wonderful. Hope you're going to have a great holiday, everybody, and get some needed rest. Get together with family and friends. I hope that all works out for you. Curious to see if any of you are traveling this holiday season. Are any of you plotting a trip through Christmas or into January? And if so, where are you going from where you are? If you're in the UK, tell me where you're going. If you're in America, tell me where you're going. Going from the USA to Bahamas, or going from UK to Japan, or whatever you're doing. Would love to hear from you where you're headed for the holidays. Thank you again, everybody, for just saying hi and reaching out. I will let Auntie Jen know that you're reaching out to us and fill her in on that. Okay, everybody. Thank you again, all of you. I got 44 thumbs ups from one of the broadcasts. I think that's the horizontal version. I sure hope the the quality of the picture's okay. I've been looking at my computer, and it's just really fuzzy quality. But again, I'm just a guy trying to figure out what the hell this means. I'm doing the best with what I've got, and I got very little. I'm just, just going at it here. Thank you again for all of you popping in. All right, let's move on over here to back to my StreamYard connection here. Thank you, Larry, for being here. Okay, Adam says, Adam is saying here, what? Naked puts on SNDK have been kind to me these last few weeks. Larry, I will be here, sir. I will be here for thumbs up. Thank you for the bells. Thank you, my friend. Ed Hawkins, I bought back my $50 SMCI Jan 26 puts at a loss, but I resold $40 for more premium further out. Lower strike and more premium, I'm still winning. This is, again, absolutely the way to play this game. Option writers can change the rules. Option writers can change the payouts. Option writers can adjust their contracts. And if you understand how this business works and time, taking advantage of time, that is kryptonite against the gamblers out there. Ed, thank you for sharing that. I'm just so grateful that you as viewers tell the other viewers, here's how I did it, rather than I trying to do it, because some people will say, oh, he's just a promoter. He's just, he's just trying to get people to do option trading. Here's a clear example here. Ed Hawkins, well done. I love it. Tom Barry says October 2025. Okay. Asco, Merry Christmas, Uncle Bruce from the UK. Thank you so much. The man says, I started in June of 2024, and I'm up 103%. I was very aggressive and pretty lucky in the 6 months in 2024. Very interesting. Thank you all for filling us in here on how you're doing. Stockman, Mark, good morning, Uncle Bruce. Bagel Heads, happy holidays. Bobby, I'm booking Boxing Day for Jamaica for March. Rock and roll. Getting ready to go, folks. The man says, only started with $4,000. My only advice to people is just start writing and don't get scared. Just get writing. Beach Boy, happy New Year. Thank you, Beach Boy. Thank you for joining in today. Good to see you. Larry, I'm headed to Las Vegas late January to celebrate a friend's birthday. Rock and roll trips are coming up. The man, yes, the quality is a little fuzzy today, but not terrible. Okay. Again, I'm seeing a clear connection on my StreamYard app, but I restarted my computer today just before going on the air, and it's still this way. So I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. Doug, oh, you look so handsome as ever, Bruce. Oh, thank you very much, Doug. I think, Tom, you have changed my outlook on life. Thank you. Traveling to see my friends, Johnny and Jeff, in, I can't pronounce that in Alabama, Big W. They turned me on to you. They are true believers. Right on. This is also a common tale. There are people here, quite a number of folks here, who found me because of somebody else. But the majority of you who found me over the years found me on your own. You popped in here, and you've been you just won't leave. And I appreciate you. We got Murray talking to me here. Hey, Murray from Japan, listening to you in Sasebo, Japan. Christmas Eve, family Christmas prior to heading back to Isu on the weekend. Such a beautiful place. Islands everywhere. Thank you for reaching out, saying hi. Jen and I are going to be in Tokyo in the latter part of February until early March. That is kind of the plan. And we have no plans. Like we know we're going to land in Tokyo. We know that. We're going to stay in Tokyo a few days. We know that. No plans after that. No, nothing. So yeah, my second time back, because I enjoyed Japan so much, I had to get Auntie Jen over there. I kept saying to her, "You have got to come with me to Japan. You have no idea. You have a preconceived idea of what it's like. Forget about it. I got to get you to Japan." So we're coming. We're going. The man, sometimes you have to write a losing contract and then roll it out. Have to let the gamblers think they are winning every once in a while. Doug, a vertical portion looks a little fuzzy. Not bad. Doug, not bad. Thank you again, all of you who are filling in and letting me know how the picture looks. Are any of you going on a trip in the new year? Between now and the new year, let me know. I'm curious. Jen and I are definitely headed out New Year's Eve, headed to the UK. Then we're headed to Malta. Then we're headed to a cruise ship. Then we're cruising 6 weeks to Singapore. Then we're going to Tokyo. We are thinking other places in Japan. We just don't know where. And then Jen heads back first, and then I head back a little later. And that will be my second round the world trip within a year, and it'll be her first ever around the world voyage. Going together. I will be on the air from time to time from all of these places. Just a matter of linkage and timing and time changes and you name it. But I have acquired Starlink internet service through my cruise line at great cost. So I hope to generate enough revenue from my option writing to pay for it. I'm pretty sure I will, and I look forward to spending time with you from the road. There you go. Ed is thinking that Sofi is going to be in the S&P 500 by March of 2026. There you go. Hey, wouldn't that be great? I would be more than delighted to see that happen without any question whatsoever. That would be fabulous. Sofi right now is off 2 cents a share. In the pre-market, we've got 4 minutes to go. GameStop is down 3 cents a share. We're not going to see much today on really anything because we are closing 2 hours earlier today. So don't be looking for anything incredible today. Usually a day like today is a nothing burger. There will be some variation, some fluctuation here and there, but nothing earth-shattering. Half of Wall Street isn't even in the office. They're at home. They're traveling. They're with relatives. I'm sure many of you are as well. It's all right. Tom Barry, Nara is beautiful. And check out the Buddha and Palace with the squeaky floors. Okay. And White Feather, Merry Christmas to Uncle Bruce and Auntie Jen. Have you written more options? Working on some right now. And sitting on the GameStop cash secured puts that I've had since August, down to 3 weeks life on those. And I will be sitting on some cash secured puts on Sofi very shortly, just on those. And after S&P inclusion, I think my Sofi shares will be a covered call writing cash cow, and that I'm certain already is the case and beyond. Lisa, the Starlink for 40 days is probably cheaper than premium drinks. Yes, it is. Premium internet definitely cheaper than a drinks package, because in the case of a drinks package, you have to buy two. You have to buy one for each person in the cabin. You can't have just one. And so you figure some of these are $75 a day. That's $150 US a day minimum charge. You don't feel well today? Oh, that's too bad. You've prepaid the drink package for the whole cruise. So you're sick as a dog for 1 week out of 6 weeks. Well, that's too bad. You drink Alka-Seltzer. We don't give a crap. You're paying. Internet is internet. No doubt about that. Sharon in the house from Jersey. Welcome. Merry Christmas, Bruce and Jen. Thank you. Juan, I will be, where are we here? Hang on. I'll be willing, what is this? My January 26th GameStop puts, I'll be moving or writing from Jan to April. Got it. Tom, Merry Christmas. Uncle Bruce, Team Uncle B, keep on keeping on. We are opening in 2 minutes, everyone. Welcome to the program from wherever you are. Let us know, where are you watching me from today? Are you taking a trip through the next month or so? Where are you going? Let us know. How are you doing on your option trading? Are you looking at closing some positions in the next few days, weeks, the next month or so that are looking really good? Some are just breaking even. Are you losing on any positions? Are you doing rollovers? Fill us in. We'll pass it on and compare notes. Welcome, everyone. Good times. Hi, Bruce. What's it say? Any tasty SoFi suggestions for cover call writers who are limited to write in our 401k? I would be looking at writing contracts that expire January, February, March at the very least. I would be looking at least 30s to get a premium for sure. If you go beyond March into, say, June, something like that, then you might look at 30 to 32s just to stay ahead of this market and take it. If the stock goes to 30, 32 between now and February, you'll roll those to 35s, 37s out to March or April or May or June anyway. So let the stock go up. Thank you very much. And roll forward. There you go. I'm going to be rolling my contracts. I'm sick as a dog today, and I can't type. Juan, hang in there, buddy. Big Dog, East Texas, 83 for the high today. Larry Titus does what he does so well. He has rung the bells. We are open for trading. Welcome, everybody, to the program. Thank you for joining us today. Merry Christmas to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. And thank you again for your support again this year. ALA, neat. One was hit those knee emojis, everybody. Poppy, hey, Tom, I'm Bama Babe on here, and Jeff is Poppy Jeff on this site. I can't wait to see you. There you go. Fantastic, everybody. Welcome one and all to the program. We're just opening up now. We'll see how the markets want to start. It's a shortened day today. It's not a long session today. Closing 2 hours shorter than usual. I am showing SoFi. Looks like it's up about 9 to 11 cents right now. I've got GameStop at 21.24, I think, down 15, but it's far too early to predict this final outcome of our day. We'll let the market sort of figure itself out. One of my favorites for 2026, Google. I think Google trades are available. I think put credit spreads behind the market, let the stock go higher. I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks the 400 barrier this year in 2026. You can buy deep in the money calls if you want, go out to 2027, 2028 and be a poor man covered call writer. But I like the idea of using 10, 20, 40, 50 grand and being a $5 or $10 put credit spread writer nicely behind the stock. Go forward 60 days and stay well behind the market and say thank you very much. Give me a nice credit spread and let it deteriorate from there. Not a problem. Something to seriously consider. Google. I like the fact that Google is not only into the cloud, they're into AI, but they're also into quantum computing. This area is new. This is the new next thing. If you've been wondering, what is the next thing, Bruce? Is there a next thing? I think quantum computing is the next thing. What is quantum computing? I read an article this morning about it. I've been reading articles lately about this. To give you an idea what we're talking about, there's a sort of an off the record war going on right now to be the first to complete a high end quantum computing system, working system. And the war is between China and the U.S. There are companies like Google that are investing heavily into quantum computing systems and others. And we're talking about the ability, just just to give you an idea here, the ability to do 13,000 times faster calculations than being done now by the most powerful supercomputers out there. And not only are we talking about being 13,000 times faster, we're also talking about using 1% of the electricity required to do that kind of computing. And so firms like Amazon and others are well into it, getting well into it. And I think we've got some breakthroughs coming soon. And there will be all kinds of winners in the software end of it and hardware and others. We're talking about the ability, by the way, with the kind of power we're talking about, quantum power we're talking about. And this is where it's kind of scary. There will not be a single security code for any bank account, any military secret codes that will be able to stop a quantum computer from breaking the codes. We're talking about that kind of ability to crack into deep algorithms. Now, quantum computing will set up the other side, and that is quantum computing will give you security like you've never seen before as well. So it's a two-edged kind of sword. You have the ability to break into the Netflixes of the world, the health records of the world, banking records of the world, as long as those sites don't upgrade. But with computing, quantum computing coming on, there will be quantum level computing security systems to negate the new quantum computing ability. It's unbelievable, and it is going to completely change corporate security, government security, you name it, across the board. It's going to change our phones, it's going to change our computers, it's going to change everything. And for those countries, those corporations, those governments that do not invest and adopt into the quantum computer area, they're going to be left tragically behind. And so this is what is coming. I'm just saying it's just going to be unbelievable. Anyway, I'm just a guy trying to give you an update on what I see is going on. Thank you. What else is going on? Thank you again, Larry, for hitting the bells today. Let's see. Manny is saying, hi, I love your recent traveling the World Series. Greetings from Austria. Thank you, Manny. Appreciate it. I put up 14 videos last summer and fall, on my round the world trip that I did, on traveling with Bruce. And so if you're curious about what it was like for me to travel to Japan, Singapore, Dubai, Europe with Jen, a Norwegian cruise, a Mediterranean cruise, by all means, check those out. More will be coming as we start our next trip. Thank you for following me. Travis sold GameStop $24 cash ticket puts in October, got exercised, and I own 600 shares. Calls, premium is low. What is your suggestion? You could look at selling the shares and writing more cash secured puts. You could do that. I'm not sure what else to tell you. You could look at doing selling the shares and writing put credit spreads well behind the market going forward a few months, taking premiums there. I'm not sure. Doug, yes, quantum computing is the next big deal. Let's see what else. What else? Mr. Balloon Hands is not as convinced. Not as convinced as maybe others are on quantum computing. It's all right. And Vero Salmon, how to start option trading. Any advice for starters? Start with lesson number 1. Go to my website, or take advantage of this sale. Grab lesson 1 and 2 to start, and take advantage of this deal I have. Send $300 US to the PayPal address down below in the description. Send me an email. Tell me I want lesson number 1 and lesson number 2. That's how you start. You watch those 2 lessons. It'll take you about 3.5, 4 hours for both of them. Watch them as many times as you want. Take your time watching them. You will have a handle on what options are about. You'll also have a basic handle on how to write them. And from there, you can then keep adding to the classes and get up to all 19. And that's like a college course, in my humble opinion. Anyway, that's how I would do that. Thank you for asking, and thank you for being here, all of you who are here. 151 of you, thank you for joining us today. The poll question is out there. If any of you would like to participate in that, we have 32 results on one of these broadcasts. 47% of you say that you've been writing options since 2024 because of this channel. 34% since 2021. On the other broadcast where it's horizontal, we've got 84 responders. 39% say since 2024 I've been writing options because of this channel. 44% say I've been writing since 2021. That is impressive. And thank you for participating in the poll question, letting me know how long you've been doing this. Thank you. And again, thank you for joining us in here today. I said earlier today, Sofi stock this morning in the pre-market was sitting around 27.20 or so, and we're at 27.25 at the moment. I think 27.23. I would look at a couple of strategies here. One would be cash secured put a writing that expires February 26th. That's February the 20th. I would look to write anywhere from $25 to $30 cash secured puts on Sofi, because between now and February the 20th, they will have released their fourth quarter financials in the first few days of February. And I think the shares between now and the end of January are going to break through 30 towards their all-time highs of 32 something. So this $27 price is cheap. $25 to $30 cash secured puts put them probably all out of the money before the end of February, which means these contracts are going to die worthless, which means you could pocket some cash. You can also look at writing put credit spreads here, 23, 22, 24s, 23, 20s, 21, 23s, 22, 23s, 22, 21s. I mean, anywhere in that neighborhood, 20 to 24. Put credit spreads together and bring in some nice percentage returns. Again, for January out to February, I would go to February on these credit spreads and bring in as big a credit as you can on $1 and $2, $3 spread positions is what I would be doing on these strategies right here. If you've taken my classes, you've taken 8 or 10 of them by now, you'll know how to do this. And got to ask yourself the simple question. If you grab 10 of my classes now for $150 a class, you're going to drop $1,500. Okay, what does it take to make $1,500 on these options? If you're writing $30 cash secured puts on Sofi that expire February the 26th, I would contend that you'll be bringing in excess of $4 a contract in cash. And if you are bringing in more than $4 a share, which is $400 a contract, how many do you need to write to pay for this. We're talking about here we are right here, $30 contract. Yeah, they're 418 right now, 415 to 430. You write 4 of these contracts, you'll bring in over $1,600. That pays for 10 lessons. And you're going to write options for the rest of your life. It's not like you have to spend $1,500 in lessons every time you want to write options. You buy the classes once, rewatch them again and again and again, and write forever. So if you're 35 years old, 40 years old, you're going to be writing contracts for 30, 40 years. You're going to get your $1,500 back in no time. Now, look, if you've got $15,000 to your name, you can write 5 $30 contracts that expire February 2026. 60 days. You can write 5 cash secured puts. You're going to haul in $2,000 plus on your first ever option write. These lessons are a joke. $150 a piece. They're a joke. If you are serious about making money in this business, you're going to become an option writer. And if you become an option writer, you have every opportunity to make a lot of money. Now, if you want to write, like I've said before, you want to write cash secured puts, excuse me, on you want to write, put credit spreads on Sofi, for example. You can write a 24 for 118 and buy a 23 for 91. You'll bring in a 27-cent spread on a $1 position. That is 27% on your money, as long as the shares don't go under $24 between now and the 3rd Friday of February. You want to write 22s and 20s, you'll make 20 cents. You get a 20-cent credit on a $2 spread, 10% on your money between now and then. Now, I just asked you, if you got 15 grand lying around, you get 15 grand lying around, you can write a ton of these cash secured, these credit spreads, put credit spreads. You could bring in a 20% return on $15,000. That's 3 grand between now and Feb 20. My classes, you can't spend $3,000 to take my classes. I mean, what is it? All 19 of them doesn't cost $3,000. You write put credit spreads where you're bringing in 10% for a 60-day window. On 15 grand, you make $1,500 in 60 days. And you're going to then do May contracts for another 60 days. You're going to do another credit spread. You're going to bring in another $1,500. And then 60 days next, you can bring in another $1,500. You're going to do this 6 times a year. 6 times a year times 1,500 shot, 9 grand. You will not be able to spend $9,000 to learn how to do this. That is the point we make around this channel all the time. Up to you to step up and take the risk on yourself. Can you risk it on yourself? There it is. There you go. Please share the link of your option course. The titles are down below in the description of this video. You can see them there. You can go to my website, stockmarkerswithbruce.ca. You can see the titles there. But follow the link, follow the description down below how to acquire these classes on sale till the end of the year. You've got 1 week, and then the deal is back to $200 a piece. Good morning from Jam Ham. Thank you for joining us. Binu, my free trade promotion ended at Schwab. Time to shop for a new brokerage firm. Anyone have any good suggestions? Again, I'm assuming you're in America, so anybody have suggestions for in America? Adam, it's always worth checking the margin requirements on Sofi when writing put spreads. Naked puts you only need 250 margin, can easily get $1 premium when volatility is high enough. Again, very interesting points to be made there. Again, kids, it's a matter of your risk tolerance level, your capital available. What does it cost you to acquire the classes, what does it cost you to write contracts? Each broker is different. I don't know where you live, whatever country you're in. You've got to do your homework, which broker you're going to be able to use. I'm unable to see your link. I'm watching live. Where you can go to my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. You can go there. and visit that whenever you want. And then you'll see all the classes listed there. Or you can get off the air whenever you get off the air, and you can go to my channel page, my home page for this channel, and see the description of the live shows I've done in the last couple of weeks. It describes in there, right at the top, under the title, how to get the lessons. All right. You can send me a private email if you need more help. Just send me an email right here at brucefrommert@hotmail.com. Here it is right here. Here is my email address. Send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to send you instructions on how to get these classes. Okay? It's right there. Copy and paste. And you're in business. Okay? Thank you again, everybody, for dropping in and hanging out with us. It's much appreciated. Thank you for the thumbs ups. Thank you for answering the poll question today. Jam Ham just now sold 4 Sofi cash secured puts, February expiring, 2020 for $4.15 a piece. Thank you very much. So those would be the 30s. I think you're doing those at 30s. So that's my hunch. I think he's doing 30s. Let me triple check that. Yeah, he just did the 30s. So he is willing to buy the stock at $25.85 a share. $25.85. They're trading at $27.25 right now. This contract dies on Feb 20, and if the shares go to $29, these puts have a book value of $1 plus whatever time is left on them, which might be $1.75. They're worth $1.75. He sold them for $4.15. He could buy them back at $1.75 and now go ahead and write March or April expiry 30s and probably bring in $4.15 again and say thank you very much. May I have another? So there you go, $30 strike, nice going. Nothing wrong with that for 60 days. Look, if you want to write $30 puts right now for January 27 or June 27 or January 28, knock yourself out and go for it. But I'm looking at just the initial what's in front of us scenario. And I'm looking at fourth quarter results with results coming out in the first few days of Feb. That's when they'll release these results. And I want you to be in a position where you are into options that have every likelihood of being worthless. And if you're going to write 30s or 29s or 28s or 27s, I think you're going to be okay. Let me just take a peek right now. If you want to write January 2027 contracts, cash secured puts, you want to write 30s, you'll be paid about $7.95 a contract in cash right now, which means you're buying the stock back at $22 if you get exercised. So you're writing an in-the-money contract, a $30 cash secured put. You're going to be paid about $800 a contract. You can write 5 of them. That's $4,000 cash. Right there. That if you bought all of my classes today on sale, that's $2,850. You just hauled in $4,000 on your first 5 contract writes. If you can write 10 of these contracts, you're going to bring in $8,000 in cash. So you're sitting on $30,000 plus 8 more. You're sitting on $38,000 cash in your account right now. The shares go higher. Every dollar the shares go up in price between now and a year from now. These contracts lose value. If it breaks 30, they're worthless. Their book value 0. They will only have time value. Time value on 27s, which kind of, are at the money, $6-ish. So there's a $2 drop already just on a 250 move on the stock itself. If shares want to go to $32, these contracts, these $8 contracts will be at about $4.90. If the shares want to go up to up another couple of dollars, up $5 a share to $32, the contracts you're selling at 8 will be about $3.75, and that's assuming that's this week. If this happens a month from now, they will be a little bit lower in price because they lost a month of time. This happens 3 months from now, the stock goes to $32. Those contracts won't be $3.75. Those will now be $3.50, $3.40, $3.30. You sold them for $8. Again, how conservative are you? You decide. Soto, I like your style, Uncle Bruce. Soon to be a student. Giddy up. Charlie, thank you. Hello, Uncle Bruce. Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas to all. Thank you again, all of you are passing on best wishes. Bagel Bay, Merry Christmas, Uncle Bruce and Auntie Jen. Thank you all so very much. And again, thank you all for those of you who have been making PayPal donations to us, helping pay for our trip coming up. Thank you very much. And any of you out there picking up lessons, thank you very, very much. And congratulations. If you're picking up lessons, you are serious about making money in this market. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are serious about making money. And you can wait until January, February to pay $200 a class if you want, or you can grab some now until the 31st at $150 a shot. Up to you which way you want to go. All right, everybody. Welcome to the program, pal. Thank you again for joining us today from wherever in the world you are. It's fantastic that you're all here with us. All right, a quick peek at the market. I think we're up 130 on the Dow. We're up about barely up on the S&P and Nasdaq down slightly. Nasdaq down 14 points. Sofi is up a nickel. GameStop is up a penny. AI down 20. Rocket Lab down 59 cents. Palantir down $1. ASTS down $3. Microsoft down 46 cents. Dude, thank you, man, for the you're the gold medal position donator today of this channel, and you've helped me $20 towards being live on board the cruise ship. So I thank you. Appreciate that donation. Merry Christmas, Uncle Bruce, Auntie Jen, and Bagel Familia. Thank you all. Whether you're doing super chats, super stickers, whatever you're doing, PayPal donations, you guys are great. We love you for it. Please get richer out there. Please get richer. Take the money off the table from these people. ASTS down 330. Apple up 178. NVIDIA down 149. Google down 79 cents at 314.90. I really like Google this year. I think Google. This is the year for Google. I wouldn't be surprised if NVIDIA breaks 200 a share. It goes to even 250. I would not be surprised. But NVIDIA will be more volatile than Google will be, in my humble opinion. Google is trading right now at about 31 times earnings. I know that sounds high, but their projected earnings per share, I think they're in the low 20s for the revenue generated right now. So I think Google is fairly priced, and you can do very well with put credit spreads, even iron condors on Google. There's a lesson for that too. So there you go. Fun times at the OK Corral, everybody. Thank you for joining in on Christmas Eve 2025. Thank you all for being with Jen and I since 2021. Some of you even 2020 when I was just doing videos. Certainly following from 22, 23, 24, now 25. It's been wonderful. I am looking forward to producing the odd video here and there and bringing a live show to you once in a while. If any of you are interested in a one-on-one private on-air consultation where it's just maybe you and your better half, or your brother, your mother, parents, uncle, whatever, you want to do a 2 or 3 person get together with me on a private basis, I'm certainly able to do that. Even from a cruise ship, I can do that. We'll find a day, a time, and an hour, and you can look me up, and we'll do a private consultation to talk about your situation, and which way you should work and which way you should go on your investing. Congratulations to those of you out there who have discovered, you figured out years ago, because of me, I guess, that the returns you were getting from your 401k account, your savings account at work, those mandatory investments that your employer made for you. You remember those? And you were getting 6% a year, 4%, 8%, 7%, 5%. You lost money in 1 year. You know, all of those. So many of you were in that really ugly situation, and you turned around and you became option writers. You took control of your 401k if you were allowed to, and became option writers, and or you took the portfolio you had on the outside of a 401k, whatever money you were managing yourself, and you became an option writer there. And some of you pulling in 60, 80, 100+% returns. You've completely annihilated the return that you used to get from your bosses. And you now know, you know what, Bruce, I really can retire when I hit a certain age, because at 5 to 6% returns a year, even if I keep working until I retire, there won't be enough there to live on. But my own capital that I'm growing at 100% a year or more, Uncle Bruce, this is huge. Yeah, I see some serious money here. Mr. Balloon Hands, thank you for this $20 donation. Merry Christmas. You helped me make a lot of money once. Thanks, buddy. Been here since Jan 21. Thank you. Again, all of you out there are kind enough to do these. These go towards expenses coming up to be on the air. Again, I appreciate you all. Yeah, look, I'm amazed at how many people out there were taking such lousy returns. You remember when inflation hit 9%, what, a year or two ago? And people were getting 6% returns on their money. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Going backwards, I mean, that was insane. Aurora, what's this? Aurora TL9ML, thank you for this donation. All currencies gratefully accepted. Merry Christmas, Uncle Bruce, Andy Jen, and all happy travels. Thank you, guys. These donations here are covering some of the internet costs I'm going to have on that cruise ship. Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, we are more than thrilled when you guys make a score. I have had viewers who've told me that they're 55 years old. They're sitting on $150,000 in their 401k. They've put money in. Their employers matched some of it, and they're getting 6% return. And they've been putting in for 20 years. Then they tell me, they find me, and they said, this is what I used to do. I don't do this anymore. I'm allowed, because I've been in this plan for so long, I'm allowed to borrow against my 401k, by the way. So I borrowed against my 401k, and I've set up a margin account with a broker. I've taken a home equity line of credit on my house that my wife and I bought 30 years ago for 250 grand. It's now worth 850 grand. We borrowed 200 grand on that. We borrowed on the 401k. We now are sitting on 200 plus thousand, 300,000 in our margin account. And I'm now doing conservative option writing strategies because of your lessons. And we're generating 10, 15% a month return on our money. And we're pulling in 20, 25,000 a month on average from our capital. Why can't they do this at my 401k? Why aren't these guys, these so-called experts in Wall Street that are supposedly working on behalf of our corporation, why aren't these guys doing an option writing strategy that brings us these kinds of returns? I don't get it. That's what they're asking me. I don't have the answer to that question. I just know that those of you out there who have stepped up and learned how to write options, even cash secured puts, I mean, talk about simple. Just use cash to write cash secured puts on stock like Sofi a year out, bring in $800 on a $3,000 commitment, bring in $8,000 on $30,000, bring in, if you did 300,000, you'd bring in $80,000. That's a 1-year commitment. You get paid $80,000 cash upfront right now in your account for a $300,000 cash secured put right on Sofi at 30 till January 27. This is my viewers tell me this is too easy. Why is it so easy where I can do this? Why can't these pros do this on my behalf? I don't have the answer. In any event, the shares want to go to $33 in the next year based on 4 more quarters of phenomenal results. These contracts are worthless. That 80 grand you brought in, I bet you'll be able to buy them back for $10,000 in the late summer, fall. If the shares reach 33, they're out of the money. They'll be down to $1 a contract. You'll buy those back and you will then write $40 cash secured puts, and you'll haul in $9-10 a contract there for expiry Jan 28. You'll take 110 grand. Remember, you have 380 grand now, 370 grand left over. You're going to now write on 370,000. You're going to bring in a ton of. I mean, you want to retire? I mean, how many of my viewers are in their 50s who are telling me, Uncle Bruce, I'm bringing in 50 to 100,000 a year in premium money, in option premium money, that I had no idea I could do. And I was supposed to work 10 more years from age 55 to 65. And I was going to hope, cross my fingers, that my 401k was going to go from 150 to 225. Well, how am I retiring in 10 years on $225,000? Please tell me this. I don't know where 6% returns on $220,000 retires me in 10 years. My dollars have sunk as it is in the last 10 years, my purchasing power and everything else. I'm only getting 2 and 3% raises at work, and I'm worried about being laid off with AI. I'm not going to make retirement. And when I get to retirement, being forced or otherwise, I can't retire comfortably. I got to work as a greeter at Walmart or something. I'm destined to be a slave for somebody till I die. Or take control of your life and change it around. Let's go. In any event, there it is. There you go. Wero says, "Hey, don't buy Bruce's classes. You don't need to do that." John, hey, already up $12 on those cash secured puts. I'm a happy Festivus for the rest of us. Adam, hey, wrote a March 26 naked short put on SNDK 2 days ago. Got 1385. Needed about $2,000 buying power. I'm up 400 already. Not bad at all. I see on what's this? I see on Tesla who says, dude, can I get this to pop up? I'm trying to get this to pop up. My messages are awfully slow here. Tesla 23 days expiry, call side. Iron Condor. Okay. Iron Condor on Tesla, 23 days to expiry. 565.75 on the calls and 390 to 400 on the puts. Total credit $155. And you need $1,000 to write that position. So you could pull in 15.5% on your capital to do a Tesla trade. The stock's 480.49. So the stock's at 480. He's got 565.75 calls, way ahead. 400 to 390 puts, way behind. 23 days to expiry, 15% return on your money. You can write 10 of these for 10 grand and bring in $1,550. These contracts are going to expire worthless. The stock is not going to reach 575 in 23 days or 400 in 23 days. Unlikely to have that happen. The dude learned how to do this by watching my lessons. There you go. There it is. What can I say? Ali, Bruce, how much are the online courses and how long do you think it would take to learn? You are obviously brand spanking new here, aren't you? And I welcome you. Start with lessons 1 and 2. Just start with the first 2. Lessons 1 and lesson number 2. If you read the description down below, later today on your laptop or on your home computer or whatever your device is, You'll find out how to send 300 US for the 2 lessons, 150 each, to my PayPal account. Then send me a private email and say, I just sent you $300 for lessons 1 and 2. And then I will reply to that email with your links so that you will have the links right in your email account and you can refer to them again and again and again and again and again. Start there. Just start there. You want to go beyond that, lesson 3, 4, 5, 6. Watch the first 2 lessons in the next couple of days. You have until the end of the month to take advantage of the $150 deal for the other 17 if you want them, anytime you want. On the other hand, look, spending $200 a class January the 4th and the 8th and the 15th, buying one every couple of weeks or whatever for the rest of the time, $200 a class is still a bargain, okay? So there you go. Am I helping? I hope that helps you, my friend. Anyway, there you go. Adam says, oh, sorry, that one was a Feb 26 60-day contract. The March one was 2,400 premium. I'm up 200 on this already. John Talks UK. I am 47 years old. Started this year with options after taking about 8 classes. Left the UK, living nomad in Asia now. I've made 38 grand so far this year. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. I tell my channel viewers about your classes. And there it is right there. Most of my class sales really come from exactly this right here. People who refer me to others who say, I bought this guy's classes. I started writing options. I've changed my life. I'm complete. My world is completely changed in some cases. Now, in some cases, like John, the world has completely changed. He used to live in the UK. Now he lives elsewhere and he's loving life. Many of you who are writing options haven't changed anything. You've kept your day job. You still live where you live. Your lifestyle is very much similar to what it's always been. The only difference is a part of the assets that you have are now generating a much higher return to you than ever before. And if that's all that is, and that's good enough, that's fine too. But most folks who come in here now are finding me through people like John right here. There are some of you out there who know you've talked to a lot of friends and family and coworkers about this, and you don't think they bought my classes, but in some cases they have, but they haven't told you. They haven't admitted to it, and they're writing now. Others have been upfront with you and have come up to you at the coffee machine or after work, or they've sent you a little text and they said, I'm taking his classes, I am writing options. And now you have someone to talk to, which is great. Brian, number 79, good morning. Thank you, Brian, for joining me today. John, here's a great message here. God, I love these. John, I was laid off at the end of 2024. This year, I've lived from options. My wife and I are currently in Thailand. And this is so common for a lot of folks here. You were let go. You were told, sorry, we don't need you anymore. Here's a month's salary, get out. Here's 3 months' salary, get out. Here's, here's a payoff plus a year of health care, get out. Whatever the offer, whatever the deal. Others, you're let go, 1 week pay, get lost. And you've had to find a way to make money. And you figured out, well, I've got this 50 grand over here. Why don't I use this $50,000 to do some cash secured put writing? In the case of Sofi, for example, you got 50 grand lying around and you're here. You could write cash secured puts right now and bring in about $4 a contract for every one of these. You can write, say, 15 of these. You need 45 grand. You'll bring in 6,000, almost 7 grand. If you can bring in 420 a contract, $6,700 for 60 days. That's $3,300 a month. If you don't buy them back and they die worthless, that's all yours. Look, you want to go another route, write put credit spreads. If you can bring in a 15% return gross on upwards of $50,000. That's $7,500 in credit spread money you can bring in today. Live on 5 of it, and the remaining 2,500 is used to buy these back for chump change. Hey, get a part-time job to kind of, give some cash flow coming in on the side, and your 50 grand carries you here. This is pretty interesting. Again, people don't know this if they don't know how options work. They haven't got a clue. Dude, I wrote the spreads I mentioned on Tesla. Used your lessons indeed. Wrote the call side first last week when it looked like Tesla was topping out. Wrote the put side this morning. I love it. The lessons. Yes. My gosh. AOD says or asks, hey, Uncle Bruce, is it true I need to have stocks and learn to hold those before I learn how to do an option trade? No. You don't need to hold any stocks. Charlie, not true at all, says Charlie. And AO says, thanks, Charlie. Charlie, you do need the right type of account with your broker. Level 4, and it usually requires a minimum balance. Check with your broker. Exactly. You go through Robinhood, you go through Webull, you go through Tasty Trade, you go through any of the major firms. They all have their requirements. This requires you to do homework. You'll learn this in my lessons as well, because I mentioned this stuff. But yes, if you get into this, you're going to get into this. And you want to change your life? You want to change your entire economic performance and outlook? You're going to take it upon yourself to learn how this works. Otherwise, you're fooling yourself, right? AOD says, got it, appreciate this. Charlie says, you bet. It's the best part of this channel also. Over the years, we have people helping people, all right? There is a Discord group out there. There is a Discord group from this channel that exists. If you own classes, or you pick up a class between now and the end of the year for $150, grab a class or two and send me a request for the link to Discord. I'll send it to you. And help me, I'll help you. And now you can hang out with option writers. ALA for the newbies, start by paper trading, and that is also doable. LJ, GameStop price action has been disappointing. Good idea to sell GameStop for the cash to write SoFi cash secured puts. Again, nothing wrong with it. If you've got 1,000 GameStop shares and you sell them, you could write 10 cash secured puts on GameStop or SoFi, or you could write 5 on each. You could do 5 SoFi cash secured puts and 5 cash secured puts on GameStop if you want. You can do that. A comment from Adam says, a lot of people here use Tasty Trade. You can trade in a cash account or their margin account. They allow naked puts and call spreads. If you have enough buying power to cover the trade, you can write it. There you go. I've heard very positive things about Tasty Trade almost all the time. I've heard positive news on, I think it's Fidelity, in that if you are a cash secured put writer and you use Fidelity to do it, you get interest payable to you on your entire cash balance in your account. So if you've got $60,000 and you write $30 cash secured puts on SoFi for February, for example, like I've been saying here, you could bring in $8,000 something dollars. You're going to write 20 of them, I guess. You'll bring $8,000 in cash for the $4 premium, roughly $4.10, $4.20. You'll then have $68,000 in cash. You'll earn interest on all $68,000, daily interest payable at the end of the month. Now, you can also play another game, and that is every time you bring in premium from option writing, you can buy the BIL ETF, symbol BIL. That will pay you monthly interest on like a T-bill, like a 10-year T-bill. It's around 4% on your money, give or take. You can also buy corporate ETF monthly interest bonds, monthly interest ETFs. Those will probably net you more like 7 or 8% annually, payable monthly. So something to consider there to get your money working for you while it's working for you. And that's a double dip. And again, classes. Wow, gee, what you can learn here. Oh my God, what you can learn. Never ending upside. Option writers win, okay? Option writers win. If you're an option buyer, you're the gambler. You're the option writer, you are the casino. Casinos win all the time if they're run properly. And if you're looking to be a conservative option writer where you can build a retirement situation, a portfolio, or you can build your wealth now in your 30s to the point where in your 40s you quit your day job. You do not need to work for anyone anymore. You're literally just working your capital. Or can there be a way in your 20s or 30s that you can acquire enough capital to work the capital? You can live off of that. Those of you in your 30s and 40s, you may find that the only asset you have that is able to get you any kind of capital is your home equity. And you may find that you can get a $100,000 equity line of credit on your house really quickly, very competitively priced, easy credit terms, maybe interest only first year, maybe a 10-year payout with a nice low payment. You can put $100,000 to work doing credit spreads. Think about this. If you write 30 credit spreads on Sofi at $30 a share for a year, you write 30, there'll be 800 each. You'll get $24,000 up front. All right. You write 30 spreads at 800 a piece. 30 times 8, that's $24,000 in cash on top of the 100 you had, or 90 you had. You need 90,000 for that. You borrow 100, you got 10 in reserve, you bring in 24,000, writing a 1-year credit, a cash secured put on Sofi at 30. There's 34,000 cash in your account now. Okay. You need so much a month to make the payment on the 100,000. Let's say it's, I don't know, what would it be? 10 years? You need to pay off 10,000 a year plus interest. What's your monthly payment? 1,200 a month? That's 14,000 a year. You got 34,000 to start. That's your first year already. At the end of the year, you buy these back for 10 grand or 5 grand because the stock is at $30 a share, something like that. You're going to write another batch for another $24,000. And now that's on top of the 19 you had left over, less the payments. This carries itself without any doubt. In effect, you're going to use the additional capital you're bringing in to write more cash secured puts. And that's how you're compounding your return. You'll do the math. You'll figure it out. If you can afford the $1,200 payment a month or whatever that is out of your cash flow, then you can leave the capital in this account to compound itself immediately. And if you put half of it to work at Sofi and half of it into Rocket Lab, or you're doing Sofi cash secured puts for half of this and credit spreads on the other half, you're doing that. You can diversify into 4 different stocks, cash secured puts. You're taking my classes. You're figuring this out. It's a conservative strategy. This loan for $100,000, you'll be happy to pay it off month by month by month by month as you use the money to compound even more money. You're in your 30s. By the time you're in your 50s, you paid off the loan 10 years ago, and you're probably sitting down 400 or 500 grand. You're thinking of quitting your day job and more. I'm just a guy. Okay. Ray Sherlock makes a comment. Lim, I sold 100 shares of GameStop at $22.66 this week to pivot into SoFi cash secured puts. Go where the money flows. Dude, I use a Tasty trade for spreads and puts. I like it. Watch your margin though. It adjusts daily sometimes to keep smart to keep a cash buffer. Absolutely. Adam says, yes, I try to keep at least 45% cash buffer. And then AOD says, God bless this community. There you go. You're surrounded by people who've taken lessons. That's why they're here. They've all taken the lessons. Let's keep going here. More comments coming through. Robert, A Jan 27 BMNR put credit spreads. Sell the 18, buy the 15 for a 143 credit. This is a put credit spread. This seems too good to be true. What am I missing? This is making nearly 50% on your money. BMNR. And then AUD says, when I get paid this Friday, I'm going to buy the first and second class this weekend and then send Uncle Bruce an email. See y'all in the Discord. Newbie here, but hungry. There you go. This is a great way to get started. AOD, way to go. This is the most important investment you're going to make is in yourself, taking the classes. You're going to watch them with much more intensity because you bought them. When your money is on the table, you're going to watch them. But now, think about this. You've put 300 into 2 classes. Your first put credit spread, if you have $3,000 and write 1 cash secured put on Sofi for $410 a contract, that's $410. There's your 300 back, plus 110 left over. Just writing a February 30 with a 27-something dollar stock. If you want to do credit spreads, you got $3,000 on Sofi. You can probably do 30 credit spreads. If you can bring in 15% on $3,000, you're bringing in $450. And there's your you got 150 left over after the first 2 classes. Again, it's not like you only do 2 and you stop, but you can fund it as you go. I've had viewers who earn income on option writing while they're buying the classes at the same time. One funds the other until they run out of classes to buy. And then the funds that keep coming in are for the rest of your life profit. So it's a good way to go. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Let's go. Good morning from IR Aaron. Merry Christmas to everybody. And Lim, thanks for your reply. Ray, Sofi typically runs up into earnings. I have some $30 cash secured puts for Jan. Was thinking of doing more. And AOD says, I can't wait to buy those classes. Rock and roll, man. Rock and roll. Just when you can, as you can. Just move along and build awareness, build the knowledge, become part of this family. Thousands of viewers since 2020, 2021 have benefited from this. Many of my viewers don't watch anymore. They took their classes, they started trading or started writing. After a couple of years, they're to the point now where they really don't need any more guidance. They know what they're going to do. They will catch a show of mine, maybe on a rerun, and go, oh, he was on yesterday. I didn't even notice. And they'll watch the rerun show, and they'll send me a private email saying, hey, I watched you yesterday. Great to see you. But a lot of my viewers who've gone through all 19 classes are now busy being writers. And I cannot tell you how many. It's a substantial number of viewers who are no longer working. They quit their day job. They're making way more money than their bosses could ever give them. And that's the secret here. Some folks who have $200,000 in their portfolios are bringing in $20,000 a month in premiums, and they were getting $5,000 a month at work. And they're just going, I can't afford to work. I lose money when I'm working because I miss trade opportunities during the trading day. I can't afford to work for my boss anymore. I make 4 times as much money being on my own. And now that I am on my own and bringing in that kind of capital, I can travel to, if I'm an American, I can travel to Hawaii for a month. Same country, just warm weather. I can go to anywhere in the U.S. I can theoretically go to Thailand or Japan or Europe. I can spend 3 months in Europe without having extra visas. I can then spend 2 or 3 months in countries near Europe that I don't need visas in. I can then go to Asia for a month here. I can slow travel the world and write options from wherever in the world I'm at. and I won't spend the kind of money that way that I would elsewhere. Because when I do an Airbnb for a month in Kosovo or Croatia or Herzegovina or whatever, I'm paying $800 to $1,200 a month in rent. This is cheaper than being at home. I've had viewers who have packed up everything in America, elsewhere, sold off all kinds of 20-year-old furniture, gotten rid of the 8-year-old car, and whatever they have left that are keepsakes, they put in storage in a storage unit, or it's in their mother's or brother's garage or attic or basement for a while, and they're gone. They're slow traveling for years as nomads and don't need to get residency anywhere to do this slow traveling. It's a liberation situation. But again, it's up to you. What do you want? It's up to you. Charlie says to AOD, you thinking of buying all of his classes? Charlie says, worth every penny. Great investment in yourself. All right, there you go. Dude says, it's a long road, but if you allow yourself to learn, it's worth it. And look, if you're going to do this for the rest of your life as an option writer, it's a long road. You can work for someone else for the rest of your life, or you can work for yourself the rest of your life. Which would you rather? You want to work for a company over here? You want to be taken out by AI? You want to, whatever your situation, it's all right. Up to you. You decide. Tortuga, Felix Navidad. Thank you, Tortuga. There you go. A comment here from John Talks. 90 days in Kuala Lumpur as a tourist, then moved to Thailand, Bali, Vietnam. That's how my wife and I are living right now. Options and YouTube videos about the travel fund that funds our life now. There you go. I mean, there's an example. It might not be for everybody. Might only be for one other viewer like this. On the other hand, I know I have viewers who are doing pretty similar to what John is doing. They are writing options and they are generating a return when they slow travel in Asia. They're spending so much less there than they would back home from where they come from. I have viewers who are saying to me, I've been traveling South America. I've always wanted to go to Chile. I always wanted to see Ecuador. I wanted to see various areas. Others are doing Caribbean. Others are at home. Others are just nomads in North America. They're buying a used RV and are traveling in an RV in the southern U.S. for the winter, and then the rest of the U.S. in the spring, summer, and fall. Whatever you want. You decide your life, and isn't it? That's a nice position to be in, is to decide yourself what you want to do. Take your time watching the classes, says Charlie. Take notes. Rewatch the classes multiple times. Join Discord and ask if you need help. Yes. AAOD. You're getting it. You're figuring it out. This community is worth being a part of. And so, yeah, grab some classes. I'll get you into the Discord group, and away you go. Absolutely. Giddy up. You got it, folks. There you have it. Well, I think I'm going to pack it in. I'm going to say thank you again to those of you who were here all day, all morning, saying hi to me. A special shout out to 3 viewers today. First of all, to our friend here, Dude. Thank you for this $20 donation. Very, very much appreciated. Also to Mr. Ballon. Thank you, MB, for your donation today. And also thank you to Aurora for your donation today. Much appreciated. That will go towards the fund to keep us on the air from this trip coming up, for sure. It all helps. It all helps. Those of you picking up classes, yes, it does help Jen and I, and we do appreciate you very much. I want you kids to win. honestly, no question. I want you to win big time. I don't want you to lose money in this market. I want you to take money from this market. And if it's being handed to you, you've just got to grab it. Absolutely. Looks like another message came in from Sharon here. Hello and Merry Christmas. It's 4:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, Christmas Day, and I am assembling a tasting plate now. So the cream cheese and pesto and Parmesan cheese and sun-dried tomatoes roll is set. Oh, beautiful stuff! Greetings to you in New Zealand, and thank you for always having joined us. Dude, thank you again for this additional donation. Thank you, man. You are absolutely awesome. You're definitely the gold medal winner today. You're the gold medal winner today for donation. Merry Christmas to my favorite Canadian and Happy New Year. Thank you so much, all of you out there who've been just so generous to us. It means the world to us. We love it. Richard Carlin says, say hi to Auntie Jen. You got it. Also, greetings coming in from Brian. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Saying also it's been an interesting year, I would say. Thank you, Charlie. Merry Christmas holidays. Holidays to all. Merry Christmas. A New Year. Thank you, Uncle Bruce, for everything. Thank you, Charlie, also for your kind remarks and support. All right, you guys, enjoy your Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's a day off tomorrow. Friday, the market is open for regular trading, and then that'll be it until Monday. And we'll be open, I guess the markets will be open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they're shut down next Thursday, New Year's Day. So there's another break there. If you're an option writer, you are winning because of your writing contracts that expire even in February or January. There are a couple of days where there's no trading and options are shrinking in premium. You got to love this game. You just got to love this game. So take the dough from the saps. They're handing it to you. You can't not take the dough from the saps. Keep up the great work, everybody. Thank you again, everyone, for these donations. Special shout outs without question to all of you. We'll see you next time. Keep an eye. You never know when I go on next. And if any of you want to get together for a one-on-one, send me an email and we'll see if we can find a time and find an hour or so, and we'll chat. Okay, guys. Thank you again, Walter Young. Thank you again for your greetings. Merry Christmas to you, Eddie Jen, and happy and healthy New Year. That's right, kids. Let's make it happy, healthy, and profitable for all. Okay, guys. All right, guys. This is it. Uncle Bruce saying Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.